Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Discord, a Discord Cup match here. We've got
Welcome back, ladies
Nyx
and
versus
gentlemen.
Eujin, which is actually a pretty insane matchup. I think both these players are like regarded within the community as both very strong. Eujin did just get Hanamoto at Cork. He was the top finishing Phoenix player. And if we take a look at his deck list here, it is actually very interesting. It is very different than what I think a lot of people are used to seeing out of Phoenix. He's kept both of his 5-drops in, which a lot of Phoenix players have tried to do, like, cut down on to improve their Scorpion matchup. And he's playing 3 Mia Mystics in his Dynasty deck. And then we see out of Conflict side, he's playing Dragon Splash, but he has 3 Display of Powers and 2 charges. So those charges are going to be really good with those 5-drops. My co-caster is Luke. I've got Luke, Daidoji Luke on the Discord server.
Hello, hello.
And I'm going to let these guys, let them know they can go, because they've been waiting. We'll just take a quick look at Nyx's list. Nyx, like most of the dragons in this tournament, has tried to hedge for the Scorpion matchup. And so we see 3 Censures, 1 Finger of Jade, and then we see Nyx is still on Charge Yoruma. He has not moved to Mia Satoshi. He is on a 3rd Policy Debate, which is different. And we see him dropping 2 Reprieves and all of his Bonsais. He's also added a 3rd Skirmisher.
Yeah, when I look at this dragon deck, what I see that's a little bit non-standard compared to what we see out of our other top dragons is he's decided to include Miyamoto's Fury and exclude Bonsai. And so I would think that maybe if he decided to go even heavier on the attachments at the expense of events, that could be a conceit to event cancels out of Scorpion.
That's fair.
But I'm not sure that dropping Bonsai for Miyamoto's Fury is wise in a Scorpion heavy meta, because a single character attack or defense is always going to be vulnerable to Scorpion tricks.
See, I thought you were memeing and just saying that Dragon should also drop Miyamoto's Fury.
Shit. Sorry, it's Miyamoto's Fury. I thought it was Will. I'm trying to figure out where the extra cards are.
So
I'm seeing the Finger of Jade.
Yeah,
that's an extra card compared to some lists.
Yep. So he's +1 +1 Assassination, +1 Skirmisher, +1 Finger of Jade, +1 Policy Debate, +3 Censure. So that's 7 cards. So he's minus 3 Bonsai, -3 Bonsai, -2 Reprieve, and then the other 2 slots are I should look at my own list for this, but
yeah. So I think the takeaway is that I need to wake up.
Kingsley and I did this deck tech earlier, and I'm trying to remember where the other 2 slots were from. I'm just gonna look at my own list. And he is Cloud the Mind. Yep, -2 Cloud the Mind.
Yeah, there you go. So he's running no clouds. How do you think that impacts the Scorpion matchup?
The Scorpion matchup, I actually think it's fine. The characters that you want to cloud in the Scorpion matchup are Kachiko, Hiroe, and that's like it. I mean, Shoju sometimes if he's on a rampage, but that usually doesn't happen.
Yeah, I think Dragon are a little less scared of Shoju than some clans, unless they have the Soshi combo and maybe some poisons. But you have a lot of play against Shoju compared to some other clans.
Onto the game real quick, just because it has started. So Eujin wins the die roll. Nyx takes first player, buys Neaton Master 3 Fate, passes for the first Fate. Eujin buys Naive Student 1, Solemn Scholar 1. And then Nyx bids 5, Eujin bids 3. So we're gonna see Eujin here going in for the fateful attack. Let's see, Restoration is bad and Shameful Display is horrific. So hopefully it's not one of those 2. Feast or Famine is fine, and hits Shameful Display, hits the horrific one. And so this game, Honor Neaton Master on turn 1 is one way for Dragon to just break 2 very easily.
That would normally be true, but we see that Nyx actually has already passed his first conflict opportunity.
Oh, he did. I'm sorry, I didn't even notice that. Oh, he was first player. Yeah.
So I think what he was hoping for here was to get one of his extremely favorable province flips before having to commit to an attack, and we've seen that happen.
Yep. With 50% of your provinces being game changing, you definitely want the opportunity to use those. So we're gonna see Nyx sacrifices the storehouse to draw a card. We see an assassination on the naive student. So now Eujin doesn't have another attack. Nyx does drop to 6 honor. I wonder if Nyx has a policy debate here. Nope, does not. Or he chooses not to play it. So we do see a katana and not a Pathfinder's blade. So if he hits public forum, which I think, yeah, public forum would be kind of awkward. Before the throne could also be interesting because Nyx is already at 6 honor. So hitting face finding before the throne here, I think is before the throne and public forum are the two worst. You want to see. I'm okay seeing meditations, and I'm okay, obviously okay seeing shameful display.
Right. I think that you've correctly stacked the provinces in the order of preference for Nyx.
Although Shrine Maiden could come out. And so he hits meditations, which I think is actually the best one because he ended up investing the 3rd fate into the master. Pretty standard dragon practice is to invest only 2 fate into master, and that because it leaves you the ability to play stuff like Ancestral Daisho or a conflict character.
Right, but if you can get that first pass, which it looked pretty likely that he was going to get it,
I think we're going to see a I think we're going to see a display of power here.
Oh, yeah, he went for the air ring, which in this situation is a bit scary. Turns this into a little bit of similar situation to if he had gone into Before the Throne. Okay, so we're seeing a Fury. So we'll either see a stand into Display of Power, or Eujin just doesn't have all the answers.
If he has a second Fury, so that'll do it. I mean, I would say I don't think if you have a Display of Power there, you don't invest into. So Shrine Maiden flips both of Eujin's assassinations. That is really good information for Nyx. You could go for Void here. Void's pretty strong. Leave the master with only one more turn. You could also go for. He's looking for Restoration here. If he has Restoration's really strong here. Hits Manicure Garden though. Contest Void. Yep. So one thing to note is that with both assassinations gone, Nyx's 2 drops will be safe. So we could see 2 Fate Swordsmiths, 2 Fate Neaton Adepts.
2 Fate Tsuki, who's showing. Okay, so we see Fury bowing the Shrine Maiden.
No, I was saying for Phoenix. The 2 assassinations are gone. He flipped them both with the Shrine Maiden.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good, man.
Yeah, but I think, especially for Dragon, that's really nice to see. You have a lot of extreme value 2 drops, as you were saying.
There is. Sorry, go ahead.
Just the Swordsmith being able to draw for 2, 3, 4 turns, even especially when you're low on honor, would be extremely strong.
I agree. I was gonna say on Eujin's turn, I don't think he has the Display of Power because I think you just take the break and you Display of Power the airing. So we see Yokuni writes Sugu, Yuruma. I think Nyx is gonna buy right Sugu here. Pretty weak flop from Eujin.
My friends, we just saw a hard cast on a Mia Mystic. You saw it here first.
Look, man, sometimes attachments are out of control.
But you have to ask the question, which attachments that are going to come down this turn are high enough impact to warrant a Zero Fate Mia Mystic.
Pathfinder's Blade, and a potential reprieve. If say you void off the master, or Nyx, Nyx pulls a Suke and runs into meditations with fated characters. So Nyx drops down to 3, Eujin bids 2, so Nyx down to 5 here. Yeah, I agree with Sandy. I definitely wouldn't have scouted on the turn that that Eujin decided to, because he knows Nyx can't play Assassination or a Fury. He has no fate. The other 3 provinces all generate fate. Every single one. So yeah, I definitely agree with Sandy Bell in chat here, saying that attacking Shameful Display was correct. You would have tied favor, and you would have voided off the master to 0 fate this turn. So, let's see here. Eujin's probably going to poke with this Dishonored Scholar.
I think it's important to note that with Dragon taking the favor and running 3 Censures, Display of Power is an extremely risky proposition.
Yep, agreed. Display of Power also lost a lot of value with Policy Debate, being a reaction. It kind of falls in the same vein as For Greater Glory, where because it has such a late window.
Yeah, definitely, and especially with this particular board, both Policy Debate with the Honored Ni-10 Master is fantastic.
So we see Eujin going in here for a water attack. He just wants to honor Suki. I don't think he has any aspirations of winning this conflict. But if he somehow does,
Right, if he somehow does, he will be getting the Keeper.
he does not. So Nyx just defends, grabs his fate, and we're gonna see a Pathfinder's Blade here. I assume Nyx would have drawn 1 by now. He could have missed one because he only drew three new cards this turn. So the topic of Gen Con has been brought up in the Discord server. Are you gonna be coming to Gen Con, Luke?
That is the hope.
Ooh, that would be a good time. What part of the country do you live in?
I am in the Midwest, so it's a drivable distance for me.
Oh, okay. I live in Indiana, or I live in Indianapolis, so it's a free roll for me.
Yeah, that's a good deal. The hotels are not cheap that time of year.
I am very confused on this attack by Nyx. Why is he contesting
Yeah, I have to
Earth?
wonder what the idea... Why would you poke Earth with 2 Solemn Scholars? It is an open question at this point.
Yep, I'm gonna say I'm just gonna say I don't agree. How's that?
We are allowed to say these things. Well, charging Yokuni changes the equation.
Oh yeah, I've heard that Nyx is still on. Mia Mystic coming in handy here. Now, if Nyx tries to reprieve this Yokuni, he can't. Well, he can, but it won't do anything. Oh no! Okay, so we see for shame on Yokuni. You see Censure canceling for shame. Nyx is gonna copyright Sugu Duel and duel this Mia Mystic.
I think that could be a very strong line.
And then you can reprieve Yokuni. Although Nyx only has one reprieve, so it is, it is reasonable for him not to have drawn it, and he's just using this as a value play.
He could also copy Ni-10 Master to get a second use this turn out of Yokuni, possibly with that Pathfinder Blade.
So although we see a second Censure canceling Fury. So all of the Furies are gone, and Nyx, this favor is just coming back to bite Eujin. Imagine if he had just done attack shameful on that first turn. It would like this is a snowball. This is the snowball we're talking about. Like one small mistake can snowball. Oh, he duels Suki instead. So he's not. He doesn't have the reprieve. He's just gonna duel Suki and knock the fate off. This is risky though. I would bid 5 if I was Eujin.
Absolutely. Eugene the kind of player I think would realize that a high bid is justified here. Or potentially justified.
Yeah, if he had 5 bid, he would have tied. Like I just don't see you winning this game by low bidding based on the board, right? This like Sugo has 3 fate also. Like I just don't see it. This card's like.
I think Nyx's bid is just wrong here, though. Losing 2 honor for a tie is not great. Oh no, he did get the honor off. He got the fate off. So
yeah. So Eugene. So I think it's you would gain 2 for an honor. Or you would gain 2 for the fate, right? So if Eugene bids 5, you gain 2 honor to tie. I think 3 is actually correct.
Yeah, definitely not wrong. Sorry, Nyx.
No, you don't have to apologize to Nyx.
Well, I know we'll be watching it later, and I'm doing it.
That's fair.
Is it safe to attack here as Eugene? Raitsugu himself is still standing, and that Niten Master could always pop back up for an attack. At this point, you can bow 2 attackers, but if he kills one of those Solemn Scholars, it's a different equation.
Well, no, you can't. No, Nyx got the Earth Ring.
Wow. I should just not talk.
No big deal. So the main issue right now is that Eugene just has to go grab a fate right now, and all he has to do is now that 2 Sentries have been used, Display of Power has a lot more value. Nyx just doesn't defend. He's like, all right, come at me, bro. Oh, but he charges Yuruma. Oh, this is a sick economy play. So he turns Manicure Garden face down, and if people don't know the interaction, once you turn a province face down and it's revealed again, it immediately gets to use, or it can use this ability again because it's a new instance of the province. So this charge is minus a fate, gains a fate back from the Manicure Garden, and then he is going to gain a fate from Yuruma dying. So it's actually it's actually +1 fate. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Nyx doesn't have a weapon at this point, because he probably would have unbowed the Master. Alright, so I guess you go scouting now with your Raitsugu, hoping to find Public Forum. I think I want to find Public Forum here. Or, I want to find Shameful, actually. I want to find Shameful first. Contest Void to void off the Scholar. Hits before the Throne. Are we going to see Eugene buff Raitsugu? Oh, it's political. Never mind. If it was military, I would absolutely bonsai it.
Neither of these players is running bonsai.
Wait, Eugene's not playing any bonsais? Wow, that's insane. Alright, both of these players just don't like winning military fights, it seems.
I will point out that with the favor, a fan would break the province.
Would you break this province in this situation, Luke? In your
it's a 3 fate Raitsugu, so I would say probably not.
No, wait. Oh. Nyx realizing Display of Power. It's not that bad. You do get an honor, and you get one of your swords back.
Wait. So what you're telling me... Oh, okay, he has a Pathfinder's Blade. That definitely changes it. If he didn't have the Pathfinder's Blade, Display of Power Fan would kill Nyx.
Why would it
Or
kill?
no, this is
Wait,
Void Ring.
why would it kill him?
Man, I'm constantly one conflict behind today.
So we see the Maya. So interesting that Nyx plays this Pathfinder's Blade into the onboard Mia Mystic.
If he had another one, I have no idea, man.
It's an economy play, Soto. You get the ring, and then you get to gain your fate. It also just makes use of Yuruma. Yuruma's pretty bad. He never gets bought by on his own. He just has charge targets. So Nyx retains favor, display of power voids off the master. So Nyx is gonna gain an honor and go up to 4. So Nyx has a big hand advantage and fate advantage. He is really in the hole for honor. It's really risky though, Soto. If but I guess you can just take it. It's actually +1 fate charge. Potato the first. It's actually +1 fate because you get a fate from the courtesy of your Yuruma leaving and from the Manicure Garden. So we see Nyx buy Yokuni instead of Sumiko here. I would have bought Sumiko. I like Sumiko more because if you faceplant Shameful, it's not as bad, and you're first player. We could see Nyx. We could see Nyx copy this Meddling Mediator. Yeah, Library being really strong here, letting Eujin draw 2 cards to Nyx's 1.
Okay, so the double duel, or copying any of Eujin's characters compared to Sumiko. Oh, and this is an additional weakness of Yokuni playing into Phoenix.
Yep. Nyx might actually lose this game. So Potato the first, there was a 5 bid to 3, followed by another high bid, followed by an assassination. I'm very surprised.
This is a tricky spot. Very tricky.
I just think the Yokuni buy was just incorrect. There's not that many good targets to copy on the board, and Sumiko is just so much stronger. Sumiko is weak to Miyamoto's Fury, but Eujin has used all 3 of his Miyamoto's Furies. This is so risky. Nyx is out of charges also. Well, I mean, Joe, it doesn't really matter. Nyx isn't going to declare 2 conflicts this turn. And we see Nyx taking a page out of Suke's book and attacking Meditations on the Tao with a fated character. I respect that. But yeah, say he buys Sumiko 2, you could buy Sumiko 2 fate, and then buy Mendicant 0 fate. I think that's the buy I would have done. Or you could Sumiko 3 fate and then Mendicant 0 fate and then still grab 2 fate off the fire ring. Joe, it is not. Eujin is running both 3x of both of the 5 costers.
So, with Eujin having taken that break, I think And now 3 characters and 2 conflicts to do what he wills with Nyx.
I feel like Nyx is dead.
Let's see what he does. Yeah, 2 unopposed is something he can't really afford
Alright,
now.
look, like I said, I feel like Nyx is dead, but I'm not sure. Because I don't think Nyx makes this attack if he dies.
The only characters that Nyx could have that will matter at this point are probably his 2 Wanderers, and those are going to struggle to be impactful.
Skirmishers can defend on military.
He can defend, yes.
Look, you don't want to defend with them, but you can.
But without those bonsais, it's harder to get value out of them.
Sandy, it'll change the way Nyx plays next turn, but this turn Nyx is just not going to declare a second conflict. Like, regardless of whether or not the Meat Eater is there. The Against the Waves just destroyed him.
Why include Sumiko in your deck if you're not going to play him when you're first player favor?
Yeah, it's like, why include Lion's Fire Brawler if you're not going to buy her all the time? Yep, Nyx passes his opportunity. So, Eujin just can declare... Eujin can declare air, and then use your Diplomat to dishonor Raitsugu. Or, if you want to take a slightly longer game, you can dishonor Yokuni.
Oh, just to make the next turn, which is likely when the game is going to end, a lot harder for Dragon.
Yeah. Because if Eujin has a second Against the Waves, it just destroys this Yokuni. It's going interesting, Noman. Nyx on turn 2, Nyx's first player has favor and then doesn't buy Sumiko. And then he bought Yokuni and then he got Against the Waves, and that pretty much was this turn. Nyx was in a good position, and then Against the Waves just literally destroyed him.
So he won't be taking the undefended most likely, which is good.
Oh, Nyx might go for the win here, or for the conflict win. If Nyx can get a conflict win here, that would be huge. It does, Potato the First, it does reveal all the provinces, and now almost all the Phoenix characters are immune to Miyamoto's Fury. So we see a method. Are we gonna see at court games now to honor this Diplomat? Yep, that's the court games. See. But then we see Mountains Anvil Castle. However, it is tied right now.
I think there is no further way to buff the Wanderer.
You could you could court games to dishonor our opponent character.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. No further way to buff the Wanderer, but you can debuff the Mediator.
Does you have a fan here? Oh no, he has a let go.
There you go.
Wow, Eujin's drawn 15 cards. He's seen 3 Furies. Or no, he hasn't drawn 15. Because 3 cards got milled. He's drawn 12 cards, seen 3 Furies, 2 let goes, a first shame, a court games. Jeez, man, his draw has been very good. But I mean, he's making the most out of it, so I gotta give him props. So Eujin wins the conflict, and he does take the long plan of dishonoring Yokuni.
Yeah, when you look at what's rolling over into the next turn with that Ornate Fan Wanderer down, you don't really have as much of an advantage. So taking that line, I think, is fine.
I think it's the correct line also, right? Like, if dishonoring Raitsugu still leaves Nyx at 3 honor, it's not that big of a deal. You still have your library going, so you got that honor choke down pretty hard. Nyx still is up on Fate, but he loses favor here. Are we now? Here's the real Phoenix high roll. We're gonna see Conjo District now. Nope. We do see another mediator though. That's really annoying. We see Swordsmith though. Swordsmith is really, really good here. So if Yokuni does get bowed again, at least he can copy Swordsmith's ability. No, man. Both of Eujin's assassinations got milled by a Shrine Maiden, so assassination's off the table, and for obvious reasons is off the table for Nyx. We could see Yokuni copy Meddling Mediator. And Nyx, fortunately enough, finds this favorable ground too. I think we see Swordsmith 2 Fate here.
Only one Fate. So 2 Fate on the Adept and 1 Fate on the Swordsmith is interesting, although this game, if Nyx loses, will be over quickly. If he's gonna win, it's not.
So Swordsmith looks at the top 5. Let's see what he grabs. Grabs the Pathfinder's Blade.
Interestingly, we see some of the variants that's just sort of baked into L5R, where the Phoenix player is running 6 5-drops and has seen none of them in the top third of the deck.
To be fair, I don't think he can complain about. Meditations has been broken, Noman. I don't think it's that unreasonable for his Dynasty deck to be this bad when his Conflict deck has been so good. You gotta take your ups and downs somewhere. So we saw Cloud the Mind come out on Yokuni, but then we saw Let Go. One thing to note, Eujin plays it in Draw Step. It's really important to cloud stuff like Plagiarist and Yokuni in Draw Phase, so because their abilities last until the phase ends. And so once the character has gained the text, clouding it doesn't stop them from using that ability. So Yokuni just copies Swordsmith. He's just like, I need more attachments. He's gonna use it right now, and let's see what it grabs. Oh, Reprieve. Reprieve's good.
Reprieve is indeed a good card.
It's not great on this board, but
that's what I was gonna say. He's out of charges, isn't showing a charge target anyway, and his board is pretty well faded. I wonder if I would have waited to copy with Yokuni, although he probably was just looking for something with more board impact for this situation.
He's probably looking for like a fan or like a Daisho or something. We know he does have a Daisho in his hand, and he does
use it. You see it come down on the Adept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might reprieve this Wanderer. I would consider doing that because it's stats right now. It's a 2/3.
Getting an extra turn of a 2/3 with 1 Fate is not bad. People have to remember there are some really swingy plays in this game, but that you should still take incremental value when you can.
I agree. So one advantage Nyx has here. No, there is a third Let Go, Noman. That would be really tilting for Nyx if the third Let Go comes down. Joe in chat says incremental value is for suckers. You know what, Joe? I see you in my stream all the time when you say you're working in quotation marks. So I don't know what incremental value you're gaining at work. So did Adept of Shadows use its ability yet? It does not look like it has. We do have a keeper in Dynasty right now, so that is something to keep in mind. Ha! Joe says listening to your beautiful voices helps me concentrate. Alright, so we see a military conflict. Nyx immediately defends and then bows. Eujin doesn't have any military buffs other than swords, right? Yeah, 3 fine katanas, but I think you would have... Oh, but we see a charge here. Really strong. And it's contesting Void. This is a scenario where if he had waited to copy, he could have copied Atsuko here, and then moved in Yokuni. Although Yokuni would just get boxed by the Phoenix box.
The time of the angry grandma has come.
Nyx leaves! He's like, I'm out of here. See ya. This is where if he had put one more fate on the swordsmith, it would have been a handy. So we're gonna see reprove on the swordsmith now instead of this wanderer. You just need your swordsmith to have a chance in this game. So diplomat dis on our swordsmith. We're gonna see the void ring void off the swordsmith.
Yeah, so both the swordsmith and Yukuni can be potatoed by the stronghold.
Yep, because Nyx lost the favor also. This game has it started off so good that Yokuni turn is just really biting him right now. I'm just gonna harp on. I'm gonna harp on the fact that if Nyx had just bought Sumiko, I don't think he would be losing this badly. But we'll see. So Nyx is going to go fishing here, or he's just gonna attack before the throne. No, that's so risky. If Eujin has a fan. Oh, Nyx has figured out the solution. Just send both your potatoed characters in.
That does help, because you could find Shameful or Public Forum.
Yeah, both are fine, right? Man,
yeah, he can't. Yeah.
I was gonna say the tilt if this library is on Public Forum. No, actually, Nyx has a Pathfinder's Blade, so Public Forum's not that bad.
What were we saying about the extra let go?
Look, man. Nope, it is Public Forum. Yeah, no, and we know he has Pathfinder's Blade from one of the Swordsmith activations. So, Nyx...
We know he has Pathfinder's Blade and Reprieve as 2 of his 4 cards.
Yep. So, military... So, we're gonna see the Phoenix box. Interesting that he defends with the non-Dishonored character. The Dishonored character provides the same strength.
I think he's repping a katana, because if the Pathfinder's Blade comes down, he won't be winning. Right?
That is reasonable. I wouldn't play the Pathfinder's Blade for +1. I would maybe just pass here. Maybe
Ooh, a skirmisher does the same thing without wasting the Pathfinder's Blade. That's not horrible.
So now if he plays a katana, we can... So yeah, your call was correct. That's strong. So now you can Pathfinders plus box up to 3. Yep, there's Pathfinder's Blade.
Yeah, most of the time with players of this caliber, it's about figuring out why they do something and not just calling it wrong. Although I think we will still say that maybe we would have preferred the other 5 drop out.
He has a second sword. His last card was the second sword.
That stings. There's no reason not to play it in the Earth conflict.
Yep. This mediator is swole, carrying around double swords, ready to fight. Alright, so Adept grants covert. He's gonna covert this tattooed wanderer, and then it'll be 2-2. And Nyx cannot declare a second conflict, or he'll drop to 1 honor. This is a really bad spot for Nyx. Wait, did he take? Oh, Feaster. He's attacking Feaster Famine. Okay. Is there a way to let this break? No, because if you don't defend, you then just he won't break. Maybe Nyx is a fan here. If Nyx is a fan to break this province.
No. Oh. He used Fury.
Yep.
He can't play Reprieve anymore. That's tough.
Yeah, losing the Swordsmith.
More honor.
Yeah, Nyx says I'm bad at math. That actually didn't matter. And so both players are tied on glory because Nyx is the standing adept. No, he used the real swordsmith. The real swordsmith found a PFB, and the copy, Yokuni copy found a reprieve. And here come the Phoenix high drops. Although another Neaten adept is pretty sweet. So with this adept and then Yokuni, we could just buy out the board, bow out the board minus this mediator. Storehouse is really good too. It's gonna let Nyx see some more cards.
Yeah, Storehouse nullifies the library as far as card advantage for this one turn.
What large character is Eujin gonna buy here? Eujin buys Kaede.
I think that's right.
I wonder if Eujin will go for a big bid here and try and win the game through conquest. Nyx takes the passing fate. Interesting. I might have bought an initiate. Nope, both players bid 1.
Are we going to see a reprieve come down on Neaten Adept as its attachment to Bow?
God, that would be so awkward. Oh, that's so awkward.
But he's got a reprieve and 2 other cards, so
yeah,
I mean that gives him better chances. I don't know. It's unlikely though.
No, Winter Knight, Nyx is out of charges. He's played both of his charges already.
I think both players are out of charges.
Yep, so Eujin milled 1 and played 1. So Yokuni's going in military fire? Military water's risky. You can't do military water. As much as you would want to attack water, you just can't because the mediator just jumps in and then you give a keeper and a fate. Yeah, I personally would have bought I would have bought the initiates. I probably would have bought both initiates with 1 fate. I just don't know what's in Nyx's hand.
Blocking with the mediator here makes it hard to be aggressive into the adept.
Yeah. I'm not sure I like this block. Maybe he just doesn't want to give up the airing.
It's plausible.
Because then next turn,
he has 2 cards that do something.
Well, next turn he'll be able to be able to airing first. Oh, Eugene has policy debate. This mediator is gonna give Yokuni a talking to. We're gonna see a bit of 1-to-1 here because Nyx has no honor to play with.
Reprieve is the only attachment.
What do you take here if you're Eujin? Those are three good cards.
Yeah, those are actually very good.
Interesting. What do you think about Nyx not playing Skirmisher? Why don't you? So here's my thought. Why don't you just? Eujin's saying Why don't you just Skirmisher the Mediator, attack water, and then you can copy. You could attack with the Adept or Yokuni and just copy the Adept and bow either of the other two characters. Like, what about that line?
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, okay. Look, I'm spitballing here. Like, you just covert the Mediator. Takes the court games. Yeah, you covert the Mediator, you attack with the Adept and the Skirmisher at public forum on water. So, Eujin only has one actual card left in his... Eujin wins the conflict. So, Eujin really has no good attacks here. He has to be careful about attacking Feast or Famine. Either side of Kaede will break Feast or Famine. And then you'll get crushed by that Skirmisher in hand.
Yeah, whoa, this attack, though. Why? What is happening?
Interesting that he doesn't give himself covert and attack water. I would have given myself coverted the attachmented Adept, and forced Nyx to play the Reprieve on this Adept.
Yeah, that's definitely what I was using as the foundation of my line for Eujin this turn. But we're seeing something else.
So now Nyx is just gonna block and then bow. Nyx has to be really wary of a Nyx has to be really wary of display of power here.
So with the line that he's taking,
yeah,
Kaida's gonna go in with covert on what?
Well, so Nyx can just attack here. So Nyx can attack water here. Oh, wait, he passed. Nyx is gonna die, I think? No, he doesn't die, but he's...
Well, both air and fire are taken, so he doesn't die.
Wait, he's
he can't attack, though. Because the Void off of Yokuni and then the Mediator would kill him.
Oh, yeah, he can't attack from the Mediator. Duh. This is where my line of Skirmisher, the Skirmisher line was so much better. Wait, Eujin doesn't attack. Did we miss something and he didn't use his Adept?
He didn't, right? I'm looking at the log.
Alright, he just didn't use Adept, and, like, all he did was Adept Kaede, do water, Void Yokuni.
Does he not realize that Kaede adds Void? I'm so confused.
Yeah, you just do water, Void Yokuni, force the Reprieve. No, it doesn't. No, man, it didn't matter. He had favor. He had political favor. He had political favor. It doesn't matter if he gets bowed. He wins the conflict still. Nyx says lol meme flop, and we see triple initiate and Doom Shigenja. We were about to see a lion board right here. Oh, my bad, Joe. Sorry. I will always be shuffling cards. I just try to make it not audible. I'm literally shuffling them underneath my desk. It is a stack of lands from Urza's Saga. Just saying. So we see Prodigy 3 Fate. We see Doomed, and I think I just buy out all these. I buy all the initiates with 2. No one's saying that's how we know we have real card game players running the stream. I mean, it's true. I have just stacks and stacks of cards. I'm literally shuffling like a stack of 50 lands that are sleeved right now. I think these were some of my draft lands before I got the unstable ones. Okay, so he buys 2 with 0, so for the honor. Buys 1 with fate. So this metal mediator is finally gone. One thing that's really important for Nyx is that he needs to make sure that he doesn't get hit by display of power.
Yeah, so let's look at it. We've seen 1 display of power, and we've seen 19 cards left in deck. So it's certainly a possibility.
So Yokuni gains initiates honor this character ability. That's pretty strong. I might have saved it for Prodigy's ability to unbow. I might have just.
No,
I mean,
I like the honor this character ability for Yokuni, but you don't copy it before you have a defense turn.
Yeah. I think he's gonna reprieve this Neaton Adept maybe, so he can block. And then you just bow both the characters. So we're gonna see Neaton Adept with the sword block here for 100%. Like, water's being contested here. Imagine if he just saves this copy and copies the Prodigy. So Nyx defends with both of his adepts. I think if something goes horrifically wrong, he will reprieve the other adept to bow, but he doesn't want to. Bows Kaede, so he's winning the conflict right now. We know that Eujin doesn't have any more buffs. He does play a fan, though. Does this signify the less... Wait, why does he play a fan here? What buffs can he have?
Is that just policy debate? I'm confused.
Yeah, I think it's policy debate. That's gotta be it, right? Like, that's the only... But, like, I think... But he was gonna win policy debate anyway. You don't need to play the fan here.
Right, with
like,
only
you could debate 3 to 1 and Nyx is gonna bid
available.
1, right? Like, that doesn't matter.
No one's that gutsy.
Look, man, I'd rather lose than show you my hand. So, Eujin readies. Nyx does have the skirmisher. Nyx saying he mismanicured. Sad face. I think Nyx is safe though. I don't see Eujin attacking any of the other provinces if he does do another attack. Soto in chat saying, I don't understand this attack. Yeah, I don't know. I think Nyx has done like, these adepts have been saving graces for him. They've stalled this game out for him for so long.
He called it a meme flop, but going wide here isn't the worst.
So you definitely go at public forum here. Skirmisher, I think you bring... Oh, Nick's saying that's a misclick. Fix it. I missed the pass button. Nick's getting crushed by what I can only imagine is a small screen. Did Nick add his fate back? Or was he still at 9? Is 9 correct?
I think 9's correct.
Okay. So we see Against the Waves being one of his cards, bowing Yokuni. Kind of awkward that he decided to use the copy. Imagine if he had copied Prodigy of Waves.
Yeah, I think we've said that one enough.
Look, I'm just gonna.
But I do wonder about that Against the Waves. I mean, I suppose it's right because that's just a lot of skill coming at you. But these 3 guys honoring themselves is no joke either.
So, really risky to go air here against Display of Power. But I guess you play the odds, and if you just hope your opponent doesn't have the second one. Nyx could have the third censure, though. Nyx could have drawn the third censure. How hype would that be?
Nyx doesn't have the favor.
Oh, he doesn't. Never mind. He could have drawn the third censure. It would be very, very, deflating, though. No, I agree, Nolan. I'm just saying you have to hope, right? Like, I mean, if your opponent has it, it's just like, well, shit. You actually don't lose if he has it, because you do have you do have 2 honored characters leaving. You have to make sure to click your characters in the right order, though. I guess he was gonna repreview Okuni this turn. Although you could consider repreviewing an adept. So we see fate, or we see the rings getting fate here. Nyx pays 2 to the void ring. Interesting. You do, Noman. Oh, is that how it works? I always just click my guys. When they all die, I just click my guys. I'm pretty sure guys die one at a time in this game. Like, I don't think it's like Magic where everything dies at the same time. But I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please let me know.
So, with only 1 standing character for defense, I'm trying to look through Eujin's deck. I don't think he has any way of sending the defender home. Although, he did get the air ring. So, okay. So he's a little bit out of the danger zone for now, Nyx.
Oh, okay. No one giving you some Jigoku advice. So we're gonna see Eujin here attack Manicured Garden. We could see Eujin feel bad for Nyx and attack Feast or Famine, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think Nyx defends here.
I think you were right about the if he did forget to click Manicured Garden, 9 is correct. But I think if he had clicked Manicured Garden, that fate would have been correct after picking the Skirmisher.
Yeah, he does remember to click it this turn. So Nyx is gonna break this library, which is really helpful for him. Oh, he discards the reprieve at random. Nyx doesn't play it. Nyx, what are you doing? Your opponent's contesting Earth. You just absolutely play your reprieve. And then he's going to break Shameful instead of breaking the library. I guess you have to take it where you can get it.
Shrine Maiden's really bad for him right now.
I agree. Eujin passes. So you have to void this Prodigy. It kind of sucks that he had to go for void. I think if Nyx had just played his reprieve, he would have been in a fine spot here.
Absolutely.
Like, you just reprieve Yokuni, or Adept, or, you know, yeah, or Adept or Yokuni, and, like, you're in a much better spot.
Oh, man, seeing that board fall apart is just depressing.
Oh, and there's Sukune. This might be the writing on the wall here.
16 fate. He can buy out his row. Raitsugu's fine.
Well, the problem is going to be the Sukune. He needs a cloud. He doesn't have Cloud to Mind. Like, the Sukune is going to bury him. But interesting enough that Eujin buys her with
Eujin saying that the writing is on the wall with that 1 fate.
Yeah, yes. I might have bought her with 2. But I don't know anything about Phoenix. I'll say that very, very easily. Because I don't think Eujin has, like, no good attacks here, right? Like, both of the provinces that Nyx has left, Phoenix doesn't want to attack. So we'll see. Yeah, I agree with Noman. I think Sukune with 1 fate is manageable because Phoenix doesn't want to attack any of your provinces. Right, Sugu 3. We're gonna see the Yuruma dupe. All right, well, Nyx's board is good again. He's slightly out of the honor hole. This library is still being a pain in the side here. Eujin bids 1, Nyx bids 2 because he just needs cards. Noman saying all Nyx needs to do is get the Void Ring.
I mean, Nyx's board was good last turn too. If you just imagine if he had played that reprieve.
Yeah, imagine he reprieves Yokuni here. You can use Yokuni to copy Sukune. Yokuni copying Sukune is awesome, by the way, having done it.
I'm convinced that the way they design Crane characters is they think, what would be a good ability for Yokuni to copy?
I'm trying to think. So out of Crane, I like to copy Challenger. Challenger and Brash Samurai are like the two best ones. I do like copying Hotaru and Double Resolving Rings. That does feel good. Copying Hotaru or Toturi and getting to Double Resolve Rings, it's just like, how does that taste it? How does it feel? So you see Nyx attacking fire here. So if Nyx does win this, he can just dishonor Sukune. Eujin does not defend. Eujin passes. Oh, we're gonna see display of power. I'm calling it right now. That would be so backbreaking. Yeah, here's the timing window right now. So I think display of power is coming right now.
Do we see the censure now?
Nope.
Rough.
That is so savage. Yep, yeah, Joe saying got my back, cause that is back breaking. Nope. Nope, that was oh man. Nyx is like, well. Plays sword on Ratsugu. Oh man, I don't know if Nyx can do this. So we see Raitsugu get up to 7 here. So Raitsugu can kill Kaede, or he can duel the Prodigy. We should see Adepts here granting Covert, and we should see a Water Ring on an attack Shameful Display. Or is this Adept going to go scouting first?
Not sure scouting is really the right word for it. We know what it is.
Fine. Uncover. Wait, this is... This means that Phoenix's last province is along the River of Gold, and Nyx has a political conflict left. Never mind, Nyx won't be able to break. Ten strength Sukune with the stronghold feels rough. Also, with Nyx probably gonna pass a conflict, it leaves more ring options for Sukune to get. Eujin says he's thinking.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so he does still have the skirmisher, but the political conflict is what's left.
Yep.
It's not gonna happen. I think Eujin has done a very good job of not letting up on the choke, but also not making much positive progress over the last few turns.
Yes, I don't agree with some of his attacks into those adepts. I think they were like some of those attacks were a little loose, and it did definitely let Nyx come back. But we'll see. No, Mick Godington, Yokuni can copy Sukune and use her trigger and use it. I've done it before. That's just not true. You can use Yokuni to copy Sukune. What is this Wua thing, Joe? So Eujin sends Prodigy in at Feast or Famine. I think he's just gonna lose the fate on his character. He can go for a stronghold break, actually. Eujin can just go for a stronghold break.
Yeah, with that big Sukune, that could very much happen.
He still has the... Although, it is Rally to the Cause, so it will flip into Nyx's strong suit with Raitsugu.
Well, we did see he's going water.
He'll get a keeper.
Once again, without having used Adaptive the Waves.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Because Adaptive the Waves into water for the Stronghold attack feels like the way you would break. As it stands, I think the break is going to be tricky.
So Nyx doesn't take the break here. So he's gonna duel this Prodigy. Prodigy's gonna lose. Yep. This is a rough spot though for Nyx. So now if I'm Eujin, I just attack Shameful. Oh, so you see a policy debate. So Skirmisher, let go Pathfinder's Blade. I think you take Skirmisher. You could take Pathfinder's Blade too. I think Skirmisher is more impactful. Being a character. Like, your province is along the River of Gold. Do you care that it gets Pathfinder's Bladed? This card's Let Go. Interesting. What do you think him making Nyx discard Let Go means?
Alright, so if we look, I mean, it's just Cloud, Fine Katana, Ornate Fan, so I don't know.
Okay. Maybe you had some insight that I didn't know.
No, I'm glad you asked, but in this situation, maybe he just wants to prevent Cloud coming down from No, actually, I have no idea.
So you attack Earth?
Maybe just of those 3 cards, he doesn't care.
So if I'm Eujin here, I attack Earth, and then I use Sukune to... So Earth will gain the Void Conflict from Kaede, so you can void off Raitsugu. You then get to copy the... You then get to resolve the Void and the Air, so you steal an Honor and you void Raitsugu again. Nyx is gonna block. He's gonna use Shameful Display to dishonor Sukune and re-honor and honor Yuruma. However, it is not gonna mean a lot. Maybe Eujin here is thinking about attacking Feast or Famine. Nope, he decides not to. I don't think it would be correct to attack Feast or Famine, but he might have thought about it. Eugin has initiated a political conflict with skill 19. So Nyx defends. We're gonna see shameful activation on Yuruma and Sukune. This Raitsugu is gonna lose a lot of his fate. Okay, no problem, Luke. Go ahead. I will finish this game solo.
Alright, so we're gonna see the skirmisher discarded from this conflict. The Pathfinder blade comes down on Raitsugu, remembering he can do that in Earth conflicts this time. But yeah, I'm gonna duck out for now. Thanks for having me. I think I did wake up a little bit more towards the end of this one.
No problem, dude.
And I honestly can't say I know what's gonna happen in this game.
I am unsure also. We'll see. Oh wait, yeah, this is a huge misstep from Eujin also. So Eujin knows he has a skirmisher. He should have left his adaptive of ways at home to gain favor. This is where, if Toreador is still in the stream, this is where having perfect information doesn't take away skill. You still have to make the right plays. Eujin had perfect information and still made a mistake. A very easy mistake that with his perfect information he could have not made. So Nyx keeps favor. We see. It's not salt. I'm just saying. Look, I'm just saying. I have anecdotal evidence right here. I'm not trying to strawman. I'm literally just saying that having perfect information doesn't change the game. So Nyx does find another copy of Yokuni, and he finds an investigator. Investigator's pretty sick here. I don't know if we'll see an investigator. So this Raitsugu is real swole, so he can duel this Sukune. I wonder what Nyx is gonna buy here. Will we see the third against the waves? Man, that would be so harsh. Now, if I'm Eujin here, if you're alright, chat, if you're Eujin here, what do you bid? Do you just bid 5 and try to win the game? Let me know in chat what you guys would bid. Joe says he won't let up the pressure. I think I would bid 5. I would bid 5. If I'm Eujin here, I bid 5. Nyx bids maximum 2. You then have a huge card advantage. You have 8 cards. You have a high chance of finding that last. You have a chance of finding that last against the waves to bow the Yokuni. Look, Kratos, when I have the honor, I'm definitely my dial's stuck on 5, man. Always bid 5. Yep. Look, I come from a game where you get to draw 1 card a turn, and the deck that I play literally draws 1 card a turn. I don't have any card draw. So when you give me a game that says I can pay life to draw cards, I am in. I am just in to do it. Soto's saying he bid 5. Alright, I'm not crazy then. I think... As Dragon here, Joe, I would bid 2. I would even consider bidding 3. I would you could even bid 3 here if you were. You could I think for Nyx you bid 1 to 3 in that range. So if you bid 1, it gives you more honor to play with for these Raitsugu duels. It also lets you take an unopposed. So the problem is that if Eujin tries to poke and doesn't commit enough force, Nyx doesn't have to defend, and then he can try and win. Look, Soldier Token, first off, Mind's Desire is not a draw spell. It is way, way better than a draw spell. Way, way better. Second of all, the card is banned in every format that I want to play, except for Vintage, and in Vintage I play stacks. And then last, my name comes from the fact that in Extended, I used to play Storm in Extended when you could play 4 Mind's Desires, and that deck was gas. Currently in Modern I play Affinity, which I have been playing since Darksteel came out. So I have I'm an aficionado of Storm and Affinity, or Storm and Artifacts, I guess. 2 of the most broken things you can do in Magic. No, there's no characters in that deck, Joe. So Eujin does bid 5, Nyx does bid 1. So Nyx has a lot of honor to play with this Raitsugu duel. Joe, in Storm, you kill them with this card. I mean, the draw spells are all just cantrips. There's no actual draw spells. I guess Ancestral Recall counts, but the actual, like, you're just hitting rituals and cantrips, or tutors, or Yogg-Will. I guess in Vintage you can just play Cruise and Dig Through Time. Wait. So the fact that Nyx is getting his Raitsugu coverted here is really awkward. So, he just swaps it? Oh, wait, I think Nyx is gonna win here. Wait, does Nyx just win? So you just first action investigate. You have to take a court games. Wait, I think Nyx should defend with the Okuni. You can just break with Raitsugu on his own. I would defend with the Okuni here, because Raitsugu breaks military on his own. Yeah, no one agreeing with me. You just put Yokuni in, you use Investigator, and you see what's up. You take a court games if he has it, and then you should win. Because you get to see what's going on. He has 6 cards. He didn't take a fate, so he can't against the ways Yokuni. And he has no buffs. Like he has 1 fan left, I think, in his entire deck for political buffs, other than court games. Man, this thing won't scroll. Here we go. Yeah, he's got 1 fan. He could have First Shames. Yeah, you have to defend with the Okuni here. It's so greedy. I think if Nyx doesn't defend with the Okuni, he might lose. Like that would just be a real shame too, because I think Nyx is actually gonna win this game on this attack. Nix, what are you doing? This is so greedy. Two against the waves have been used, Joe. But Eujin doesn't have any fate. Eujin has, yeah, exactly. Eujin has no money. So we're gonna see investigator reveals double court games, katana for shame, policy debate, shrine maiden, discards court games. We're gonna see a for shame on this investigator. Wait, is that it? He dies. Wait, he literally lost. Nix literally threw the game. He literally had the game won, and he decided to not win. What? No, he doesn't, Noman. He has a policy debate. If this was his line, you policy debate first. You have to policy debate. No, he can't policy debate first. Yeah, the game's over. Holy crap. Nix, please! Nix, you... Nix went from a position where if he just makes the correct block, he could never lose. And instead he went to a position where he could never win. Interesting. Anyways, that was a very anticlimactic way to end this game. And I am... Why is he greedy for the win? He couldn't possibly have lost with Raitsugu. How is it greedy? There's literally no way to be greedy. All you have to do is just attack with Raitsugu by himself. It is along the River of Gold is the province. Along the River of Gold, can't do anything to Raitsugu. Like, who cares? I'm like, the dragon in me is just crying, man. I'm a crying dragon right now. Alright, well, I'm gonna go message Nix about that real quick. And just, look, Joe. We're gonna have one dragon coming out of round of 32. Chaley lost in 64, Nix is now lost, and I have to play Kingsley. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna blame the admin team. I'm gonna blame the admin team for stacking the bracket. Look, Kratos, I wasn't part of this admin team before, so... Look, Kratos, I wasn't part of the admin team before, so we didn't get a fair bracket. I think I need a redo. I think I need a redo on this bracket. I want to redo the bracket right now. I demand a recount. Now that I'm an admin, I should have these rights. Alright, well, that's gonna do it for me. I was on call last night, so I'm extremely tired. I am going to probably eat lunch and then go sleep for like 8 hours. But we'll see. Alright, take care, guys.